Now we're actually going to put our practice to good use. So what I'm going to do is I want to downplay my outline. So I want my forms to look like they're actual 3D, like on the last slide you looked at in the presentation. So what I'm going to start with is one that I already know how to draw. So I'm going to do a cone. So I'm going to very lightly outline it. So this should be kind of difficult for you guys to see because with the way I'm trying to draw now, I want to make it look like it does in real life. So the outline here, this tool gives me a dark line, so I have to be very, very conscious of how dark I'm going. So what I'm going to do now, you guys can probably just barely see those lines, but what's going to happen is when I actually put a shadow on this, we're going to make it look like it's more three-dimensional. Light would be coming from one side, so if we say that the light is coming from the left-hand side, it's going to hit this cone, it's going to try to wrap around it, but it can't get to the other side. So that's where the darkest shadow should be. So I'm going to go to this edge, and at first I might want to start out light just to make sure I think that I'm doing this correctly. I can always make it darker if I need to, but making it lighter once I've made it too dark, that's going to be kind of hard. So I'm going to be working my way across, getting lighter and lighter as I work my way across, just like I practiced the value scale I did before. I'm going to show you guys a secret. I did that on the back of my paper, so I'm actually saving paper this way. So looking at this, I can see that there's a little bit of an edge there when I squint my eyes, so I'm going to go back over it. And I'm going to shade this, is what some of us would call it, but we're actually doing what's called blending. So I'm blending away, going down from my dark part to my light part. Now looking at this, it's like, okay, well that looks a little three-dimensional and everything, but I think it could actually go a little darker. So as I said before, you want to start out lighter, work your way up to darker. So if I go along here and I say, okay, well this shadow, I actually want it to be this dark. So I'm making this edge here a much darker value. Well, the problem is now I have to redo everything because I can't, made a mistake, went outside the line. You guys aren't going to tell, I hope. What I'm going to do is use my shadow to actually hide that. So it'll seem like it's part of the cone. So this needs to come up here so I can fix this and rework that part. So the thing is now this just looks like a really thick outline. Well, to get rid of that, what I have to do is finish blending that shadow on the side of the cone into the rest of it. So as I move across, I should be pressing lighter and lighter and lighter. And I'm trying to work my way to where I'm going to get to the lightest value possible, which would be on the very opposite side. Straighten the tip up there where I messed up that shadow a little while ago. So that's looking a little better, I think. So as I go across, it should be getting lighter and lighter and lighter. So what's happening now is I want it to sort of look like I can reach there and pick up the cone off the paper. It starts to look like I can put my hand behind it. But this could look a little more 3D. What I want to do now is I want to show what's called a contact shadow. So when this cone sits on a table, when it sits on the surface, much like if you guys look at my hand right now, you can see there's a very dark shadow under the edge here. That is the contact shadow. So the whole base of the cone would actually contact the table it would be sitting on. So the whole base of the cone should actually have that contact shadow on it. So what you're going to do now is you would want to have what's called a cast shadow. So if our light is coming from the left-hand side, it can't wrap around the cone. That's why this side is darker. But because the cone's sitting here, it would actually block light from being able to touch the table the cone would be sitting on. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull that cast shadow out from under it. So you have your contact shadow that is where it contacts the surface. So your cast shadow is going to grow out from under it. We all know it would be shaped like a triangle. But if I draw a triangle and then I color it in, that's something a little kid could do. A little kid can't do what you guys are doing. They can't answer some of the questions you guys answered in class when we started this conversation before. So I'm going to come out from under it, and as I come out from under it, the shadow should get what? I hope you guys said lighter. So as it comes out from under it, more light can actually get to where it's touching the table where that shadow would be. So as it comes out from under there, you want to create the effect that the shadow is getting lighter and lighter as it moves out from under the cone. The cone would be blocking the light. where there's less of the cone touching the surface, more of the light could actually show. So I'm going to go back and make this seem a little darker as well. So that makes it look pretty good on a cone, but we don't want to be experts at cones. We want to be able to do other things as well. So what we want to do is be able to do curved surfaces, flat surfaces. So we're going to practice some other things too. The next thing we would want to do is a sphere. So I'll be showing you that in the next video.